Hello everyone, welcome. Welcome to this very special session targeted towards 2023 Bank PO exams. But before I discuss the agenda of today, let me tell you something. This session is not for those who are half-hearted about the 2023 banking exams, those who are preparing or just to pass their time, or those who do not have their own strong reason to prepare for it. In a nutshell, those who are not sincere about these year's exam, they can skip this lecture right away. I'll not want to waste your time. Why? Because this lecture is for those students who are either preparing for 2023 exams sincerely, or are trying to or planning to prepare for it, and they have their heart at the right place. They want to give their everything to crack this exam this year, right? For them, this session would be very useful. Why so? Because today we are going to discuss the issue which almost every sincere student or aspirant face. And what is that? You see, we make study plans during the course of our preparation, and we know that if we can follow a plan, then we will be able to do things on time and will be better prepared. But what happens with most of our study plans? Either we are not able to follow it, or some way or the other, the study plan does not give us the benefit that we thought it would give us. So basically, two issues. One is we are not able to make the right study plan for us, and second, we are not able to follow it, right? Now, these are problems. Who would face it? Those students only, whose heart is at the right place, who are giving their mind to this exam, who are trying to prepare for this exam sincerely. That's why I said at the onset that those who are preparing sincerely or want to prepare sincerely for this exam, they would realize the importance of this lecture, right? So we are going to solve these two problems for you today. One, how to make a good study plan for the upcoming banking exams of 2023, and second, how to ensure that you follow it so that you get the best benefit out of it. Okay, right? So that's our agenda today. But before we move on to go and discussing the solution, the problems and everything, let us understand one thing. You see, last week only, we had conducted two polls on our YouTube community there on our channel. So there, the result of those posts I will share with you today as of now. Based on these two polls results, you need to identify in which category do you lie, because the problem we know what it is, but the solution would be different for different category of students, right? So identify in which category you are, and based on that, when I give the solution, you need to identify which solution you need to take and how to implement it. Okay, right? So let me give you the result of the first poll. The first poll was about the working status of students studying with us through our YouTube channel and our community. So 1900 people participated, almost 1900 people participated in this poll. So there were three things that was asked. Those who were working now, currently working, those who were working earlier and but they are not currently working, and those students who had no experience. So 36% are currently working, and 14% of the poll participants were working earlier, but they are currently now not working, and 50% of the poll participants were had no work experience, right? So this was the first poll. The second poll was how much time, if you are preparing, we had asked that if you are preparing for this year's banking exams, how much time do you have for preparation? Right? So around 1,000 people participated in it. 46% said more than 5 hours of time they had to give to the preparation. Okay. 37% said less than 5 hours they had to give to the preparation. And 17% said that they were not preparing for this exam this year. Right? Okay. So these are the two poll and their results. Now, if you notice here, there is such a beautiful consistency. See, if you see 36% are workex and almost 37% said they have less than 5 hours of time, which is but natural because those who are working would have less time at their disposal for preparation. That is one. Secondly, if you look at the other category here, that is those who are not preparing, that is 17%, but 46% said that they have more than 5 hours of time. Right? But still we know that even with that much time, we face issue of what to do and what not to do, how to plan it, how to implement our plan, how to follow that plan. So there is consistency in both the polls, that both the polls match. Now what you need to do is you need to see that where you lie, right? Especially from the perspective of the time. How much time do you have for preparation? Is it more than 5 hours or is it less than 5 hours? You might not be working, but still due to some other reason, maybe you have work to do at your home or your college, you might have less time, less than 5 hours of time. Also, that's okay. That is also okay. So what you need to identify is that where you lie. Do you have how much you can stretch to get that time? Okay. So that is less than 5 hours or more than 5 hours. So if you are in the less than 5 hours, I would have a different solution for you. And if you are in the more than 5 hours bracket, I will have a different plan for you. Okay, right? Now, once you have identified it, now let me show you the number one reason for why you are failing again and again in having a good study plan. And you know why? Because your study plans fail you. Your study plans fail you. What do I mean by that? Because every time you make a study plan, you do not ensure the right things in that, and essentially you are creating the study plan such that it would fail you, right? The number one reason is your study plan is failing you. You are not failing your study plan. I'll come to the number two reason later on, but the number one reason is that. And why is it so? You know why? It is because you are making a schedule, a study plan, which is too tight for you, very strict for you, and hence you start feeling frustrated, suffocated, and then you leave it. Yes, my dear friend, it might look counterintuitive, but that's the reason. Because you are very strict on yourself, you make it the reason of your inability to follow the study plan, right? So the thumb rule of making any kind of plan of work, work plan, study is your work now. So any kind of work plan, that is not necessary for only study plan, any kind of work plan is, it should not be too tight, because then only you will be able to do a long-term plan which is effective. You see, very tight study plans or very tight work plans only work when you are under high pressure and very less time to perform. Like your semester exams, you had very less time to perform because you started studying just 2 days before the semester exam. So, you can give a lot of effort for less amount of time, but you cannot give a lot of effort every day for 3 months, 4 months. And that is one of the biggest reasons why our study plans fail us. So what is the solution? We will make our study plans light. Okay, and how are we going to do that and also ensure that everything that is necessary is getting done? I'll show that to you. So what I would do is, I'll give you 2 demo study plan. One demo study plan for people who have more than 5 hours to work for. Another to study, that is. Another study plan for those who have less than 5 hours to study. Okay, right? So first, I'll give you the demo study plan for those students who have more than 5 hours to study. So those who have less than 5 hours to study, they also listen to this part carefully, because if later on you have more time to study, you can implement these things at your own place and get more benefit out of it. Okay, right? So let's start with the demo study plan for students who have 6 to 8 hours at their disposal for study. So the first task that you need to do is, you need to give one slot of 2 hours every day. And for what? For concept building. From where can you do concepts? You can do it from course videos. If you're studying with us, you can do it from the course videos. Every concept has some course videos associated with it. You'll have to do it from the course videos then. If you are studying by yourself, you can do it from books. Or if you are studying from YouTube, you can do it from the YouTube lectures. So from wherever you do in an organized manner. First, let me tell you, if you are studying with us, you know in what order you need to do. But if you are doing it by yourself, what you need to do is that first write down the syllabus in front of you, so that you know in which order you need to do. Right. Now here I am talking about 3 major sections. I am talking about quant, I am talking about the quant DI, reasoning section, and the verbal ability. Right. About GI I am coming in the subsequent points. So out of these 3 major subsections, take one topic from any subsection and on the concept of it, because every subsection has multiple concepts. For example, let's say arithmetic DI. Okay, this subsection itself has many arithmetic topics and then DI application topics. For example, profit and loss. There will be 2 to 3 major concepts on which you need to focus in profit and loss, right? In our course, there are a couple of lectures on that. You might need, if you are doing it from the book, you might need to give 2 to 3 slots of 2 hours to understand that, right? If you are doing from YouTube lectures, again 2 to 3 lectures of 2 to 3 hours slots to understand that. And then practice would come. I'll come to the practice in a moment. So if you are preparing by yourself, first identify the order in which you should study, right? And then pick it up. Now please understand, when I say concept building, you should not do one thing, and that is what? Let's say this week I would do only quant. This week I will do only reasoning. This week I would do only English. No, don't do that, right? A lot of students make this mistake, that they build a concept of one section, wholly give 1 month to it, and then they move on to the second section. Then what happens, 15 days to the second section, they realize that what they had studied in the first section, they are starting to forgetting those stuff. And then they panic, right? And then they again go back, and in this hodgepodge, their preparation gets messed up, right? So don't do that. So how do you do that? You would take all the 3 sections together, right? Meaning, let's say 1 week, you are doing concepts. If you are giving 6 slots, let's say Monday to Saturday, 6 slots. Okay. So you are doing quant or arithmetic. Yes, for continuity, you will do 2 to 3 arithmetic, 2 to 3 days to arithmetic, but give 1 day to reasoning 2, but give 2 days to English 2, right? Next week, you might give 2 days to arithmetic, 2 days to reasoning, 2 days to English. So plan it up, but you should be doing the concept building stage of all the sections together in the week. Together does not mean that you should, keep arithmetic one side, English one side, and study both of them at the same time. No, but in a week, you should be touching all of these concept building of every section. Okay. Now comes the practice. For practice, 2 slots of 1.5 half to 2 hours each, right? So take 2 out of 3 preparatory subjects. As I said, for concept building, it was 1 out of 3. Now 2 out of 3. Let's say you took for Monday, Quant and English. And Tuesday you took English and reasoning. Wednesday you took Quant and reasoning. Okay. You should do it in such a way so that every subject comes 3 times a week. 3 preparatory subjects, as I told you, quant, reasoning, verbal. Devote 1.5 to 2 hours of practice to each subject of the 2 chosen subjects of that day. Mixing up subjects is key to preparation. Understand that, both for concept and practice, right? A lot of students don't mix up the subjects and thereby end up not giving the, not realizing their potential. Now, 1 hour every day to the 4th section, and that is general awareness. How? 30 minutes to general awareness directly of what has happened, and some tests of or quiz of general awareness, or maybe a small 10-15 minutes lecture on general awareness of what happened that day kind of, or a PDF of general awareness of what happened that day. And 30 minutes for newspaper reading, focusing on the editorials. You see, focusing on the data happens in the 30 minutes to GA wala part. But editorials, the opinion, right? What is happening and how are people looking at it, or how are analysts looking at it, that would happen in newspaper reading. So focus on editorials. Now the 4th task has 3 parts to it. 4A, 4B, 4C. 4A, 2 days a week. 1 hour, 2 days a week. Take reading, quizzes, vocab quizzes, FIB quizzes, right? So if you are studying with us, you have Force, you have Fiverr, right? These quizzes you have, so take them. 2 days a week only, 1 hour. Even not 1 hour, 30 minutes, 40 minutes would also do, right? 1 hour though I have given, at the max, 30-40 minutes would also do. For this activity, for A activity, 30 minutes would also do. But for B activity, which would be alternate day, another 2 days, magazine reading or puzzle solving for fun, brain games, or watching English news, and you need to mix these activities, right? So magazine reading 1 day, puzzle solving 1 day, next week English news watching. Okay. For C, another 2 days, 1 hour. Do some extra practice or watch YouTube lectures, practice lectures. Okay, right. So these are the alternate, or not alternate day, 2 days a week stuff, 1 hour every day. Okay. So how much was this plan? This is the plan for now. You see, what is our idea? Our idea is to get prepared in the next 3 months to the extent that whenever the dates of exam comes, we are prepared. See, you have a calendar for IBPS. So you know tentatively when it would happen. But SBI can come anytime. It can come in June, it can come in July, August. So whenever it comes, I would not get a more than 3 month window, right? Thankfully, it has not come till now. So therefore, if we start from now onwards, till 3 months, we should be prepared enough conceptually and 40-50% of practice wise to handle the exam, right? Okay. So that's the main idea. Now, so this is the plan for how much? 7 to 8 hours at the max, right? 7 to 8 hours. Now, if you are a person who is not working and have time at your disposal, then should you not keep time for your hobbies and book reading? I think you should. My advice would be that you should. Because, if you are not reading and you're not keeping yourself updated, I'm not talking about newspaper, I'm talking about books, I'm talking about fiction, non-fiction, both kind of books. To refer to what kind of books you can read, you can refer to my books list lecture. I will give a link to that in the description. But your reading would open a lot of avenues for you. Your mind would also grow a lot. Okay, right. So if you can, you should take out 1 hour for reading and hobbies. You don't need to do reading every day. Let's say alternate day reading, alternate day your hobbies, or 1 or 2 days a week hobbies and the other days reading. Okay. Now, if you have more time, Even with all of these, this is a 6-day plan. If you have noticed, this is a 6-day plan. So with all of these, you can take 1 day off every week, right? So every week I'm giving you 1 day off, like the working students get 1 day off from their office. You can take 1 day off from your preparation, right? Because there is a little time to the exam. You can be less harsh on yourself. I said, na, will not make it too tight on ourselves. So you can be less harsh on yourself. 1 day off is something that we can manage. But the 6 days, you need to be focused on completing what you have planned, right? Now, let's say you have more time. So then what you do? Then you double the activity 1. That is, in the place of 1 slot of 2 hours every day, you should have 2 slots of 2 hours every day. Getting my point, right? So in place of 1 slot of 2 hours every day, 2 slots. And in 1 slot, you would do 1 section, concept building of 1 section. And in another slot, you would do concept building of another section, right? Okay. Now, please understand, my dear friends, this is a schedule or a study plan for the upcoming couple of months till the time when your concepts are being built. After they are built, every time is practice time. Then your study plan would change a little. So, we'll talk about that when we arrive to that. But at this moment, the most important part is doing the concepts properly. Okay, right? Now, let's move on to the demo study plan for those students who have less than 5 hours. So, we would be assuming that they have 4 to 6 hours at the max. Okay, right? So, this is 4 to 5 hours at the max. So, 1 slot of 2 hours every day for concept building from lectures, books, videos. Yes, that needs to be done. That is there. The one place where you can save time is, I will not say save time, which you can, half from the other students, is the practice. So, students who are not working or those who have more time at their disposal will practice for 2 slots of 1.5 to 2 hours every day. You would do it for 1 slot, right? I'll just, I have made a typing mistake here. This would be 1. Yeah, this would be 1. This would be 1. 1 out of 3 preparatory subject every day, right? Such that in a week they come at least 2 times. At least 2 times. Okay. So, devote 2 hours to your chosen subject of the day, and for the week, you need to mix up the subjects for the week. Now, here comes another thing. You see, 6 days a week, you are doing 1-1. So, there are 6 practice sessions. How many practice sessions did the guy who had more time at his disposal get? 6 into 2, 12. But you are getting only 6. So, what you can do is that you can try and get another 2 practice sessions on your Sundays or off days. So, that would make around 7 to 8 practice sessions. Okay. Right. I'll come to that where I will tell you what to do on your off days. Now, 1 hour every day on GA. This remains same for everyone. See, this 1 hour can be 45 minutes, 40 minutes. I'm giving you how much you need to slot out. Right. Normally, after a little bit of practice, this 1 hour would come to, the third activity 1 hour would come to 40-45 minutes. Now, for the fourth activity, the options remain the same as the person who has more time. Same, right? Obviously, for the 4A activity, as I told you, you would take hardly 30 minutes or 40 minutes. But for the other activities, 4B and 4C, will take around 1 hour. There is another thing. If you are in the office and you are able to do magazine reading there, then you can save on that time there. Okay, right? So, you can do, you can watch some English news there, you can save on that time. Okay. So, if you look at this plan, how much this plan is? This plan is for 2 hours, 1.5, 2 hours, 4 hours, 32, 5 hours, at the max 6 hours. Okay. So, if I take this at the max 6 hours, so 4 to 6 hours. That's why I said 4 to 6 hours. This would be 4 to 6 hours. Okay, 4 to 6 hours is what it is. Okay, sometimes. One thing that can happen for workers who have no time, you can leave it for later on. This you can leave it for later on, or you can do this activity in your office, right? And these two activities you can do on your Sundays. So on your Sundays, if you give another extra 2 hours, you would do at least once activity. So then you would be able to get this time 2 plus 2, 4 hours, and another 1 hour, 4.5 to 5 hours, your job would be done. That much you would need to. So a lot of WorkX students had been asking me how to plan their studies for day wise. This is the plan. This is how you should do it. Okay, right now. Hobbies and book reading. Well, if you can give it, it would be good. But it entirely depends upon your office timings. A lot of cases I've seen that working students are not being able to do that, right? Which is okay. I mean, if in the place of one book a week, which I suggest for those who have more time at their disposal, if you can read a book in 2 weeks, right? Going to the office, coming back from the office, or in the office sometimes, right? When you are a little freer, okay, or in the weekends or in the night before going to sleep, if you can manage that time, and even at double time than others, you can read one book, then also it's okay, right? Try, but if you're not getting it, don't fret about it. Finally, if you are having an off day, I mean, obviously you'll have an off day at your place, right? So would you get the whole off day, what do you say, you're free from studies? Well, that would not be much possible for you. I'm sorry for that, because you see, there are some places where you would have some amount of backlogs, right? So you'll have to clear that. So basically, you can have 2 extra practice session, or 1 extra practice session, 1 lecture on the Sunday or on your off day, and some of these activities. So 5 to 6 hours. If you can manage on your off day, you should try to manage 5 to 6 hours on your off day. So not the full work, but half work a day kind of. Half day can definitely be managed. Half off day can definitely be managed. So take one half, let's say the morning half, or the evening half, or the afternoon half, after lunch, 2 o'clock to 6, 7 o'clock, 5 hours. And that would be more than enough, right? That if you can do that, that would be great. Okay. So this was for those who have less time, right? Now, so this was your study plan. If you make this study plan, which should not be very, what do you say, very tight, okay, and you start following it, you'd see that your chances of following this would be much more than those study plans which are very tight. Okay, that's one. Second, let's say sometimes it happens that a function comes in our house, or some work at your workplace, or maybe we get ill and 3, 4 days, 5 days goes for a toss. Don't think about it. Just forget it. Just start from where you left. Let's say till last week you did well, and from Saturday till next Wednesday you could not study properly. So then what do you do? Would you be very guilty and charge yourself that you didn't do it? What's the point of making it? Don't do that. That's another reason why we fail at following our study plan, right? Why? Because we leave it in between. I'll show you the second most important reason why we fail at our study plan. The first reason was the study plan fails you, right? You know what is the second reason? The second reason is that you fail your study plan, right? You fail your study plan. And why is that? You become impatient and you leave it in between, right? So, as I was saying, that you, let's say 4 or 5 days, you didn't do it. So you become impatient and you become frustrated that I make a study plan, I don't follow it, and you leave it. Rather than doing that, what would be the right attitude? The right attitude would be that you start from where you left. Friday I did till then, this time. my next plan was from Saturday this, so let's do it from Thursday this, right? It gets advanced by 5 days, nothing. So only those 5 days gets wasted. But you leave it, everything that you have done till then, that effort gets wasted. You get my point, right? So this is one of the most important reason why you fail your study plan. Your study plan fails you because you made a not so good study plan. Now that I have given you how to make a good study plan, if you follow it, if you make it according to your timings, that would do, right? But then still there would be a reason why you might not get the full benefit of it, and that is you become impatient and you leave it in between. So one reason I said that you had a break and you don't pick it up. The second reason is being impatient. Now, second reason of being impatient means that, arey yaar, I am doing this, but the situation is not improving. I'm not learning things at a high pace, right? Then you would see XYZ person who had been doing quant for the last 15 days, and he would do some question of quant which you could not do. You get impressed by him, and then you change your track and start following him rather than your own study plan, right? So you know these are the reasons why you leave your study plan. Don't do that. Once you have ensured that your study plan is best for you, which would be ensured by following the roadmap, the flow chart that I have given to you, right? Once you make your study plan according to those lines, you rest assured that your study plan fits your requirements, right? And your days, timings and everything. After that, don't get deviated just by looking A, B, C percent and start changing it, because then you would not get benefit of that plan also, and you would not get benefit of the plan that you were following at the first place. Okay, right? So this is important. This is very important for you to understand. So these were the two reasons why we are not able to get the most out of our preparation time, right? So the first reason, your study plan fails you, I gave the solution to that. The second reason, you fail your study plan, and that is because you get off track, I gave the solution to that too, right? So now what you need to do is to focus, make your study plan and focus on your studies, and then everything would fall into place. It would take time. Understand, when you do things in a planned manner, to get success, or I will not say success, to see improvement, it would take a little more time, right? But it would be much more than, over the long term, over 3-4 months, it would be much more than the person who is not following this plan. It will be much more. Let me assure that. Okay, right? So stick to it and you do great. Thank you very much and all the best.